Hello guys, welcome back to Bullet Watch channel. Guys, today I want to review a special timepiece. Very hard to find. This is a rare, limited edition, 1,000 pieces only. A Breitling Navitimer Stratos edition, 46mm. So let's start with the review, guys. I don't want to waste my any time on this. So this watch is a Stratos edition, old generation Breitling Navitimer. It's 46mm, so it's a large watch, but it doesn't wear large. Okay, it wears small. Okay, 46mm from the side to the crown. I believe if I measure this watch from one edge of the bezel to the other edge of the bezel, I get about 44.5mm. So when they put 46mm, I assume this watch is they measure from here to the end of the crown, and the watch is very nice to wear, guys. It has a very nice proportion. This watch is 14.7 millimeter in terms of thickness, but again, it doesn't wear thick at all. Matter of fact, I actually feel this is actually a very thin watch, because you can see from the side case profile, this watch looks very slim. Okay, and it has a lot of steps here on the back, which gonna disappear once you put it on the wrist and you wear it. It's gonna disappear because you're not gonna feel it. Okay, it's gonna get pressed against the wrist, and so the only thickness that's still left on top of your wrist is gonna be this width, from here to here, which is about 12mm. So it wears thin. That's what I want to say. Okay, so basically what I want to say is this, guys. This watch has a very great proportion. It's rated at 46mm, but it doesn't wear big. It wears something like about 43mm, and and with a 14.7mm of thickness, it wears thin. It wears a lot thinner than that. Okay, so that's what I want to say. It has a very great proportion. So if you have a smaller wrist, don't get intimidated by it. Don't just brush it off and say like, oh, this Breitling Navitimer 46, I cannot wear it. It's not good. You will not know. I mean, give it a shot. You once you wear it, you know what I'm talking about, because I don't have the biggest wrist. I have a very small wrist. Matter of fact, I normally wear a watch that is about 38 to 40mm, but I can still wear this. It's a large watch, but I can still wear it. Okay, I have about 6.5 inches wrist, and if you have at least 6.3, 6.5, or even larger, you're gonna like this watch, guys. It's gonna look good on you. Okay, and after this video, I'm gonna put like a wrist roll video where I'm gonna wear it, and then you can see like how it wears on my 6.5 inches wrist. Okay, but today I just want to do a review on this one and talk more in depth about this watch. So okay, we already talked about the proportion is great. So the watch has a very and then let's talk now about the dial. The dial is very unique, very nice. This is a Stratos edition, so it's limited edition. The normal version of Breitling Navitimer normally have the reverse panda dial. So they have the black sub dial, and then they have the black dial, and the bezel ring. They have white color. Okay, so it's a reverse panda, but this one is a special edition. It's a Stratos edition, so they still have the black subdial, but then in terms of black dial, now it has dark gray dial. Okay, for a contrast, and then the outer ring, the outer bezel here, instead of white color, they put black color. So if you look at the picture, if you look at this video, and you're probably thinking like, oh wow, this is like, it's pretty much like black dial but with a lot of information on the dial. What about the legibility? I mean, is it gonna be hard for me to see the time? Let me tell you something, guys. I don't know what Breitling does, okay, but they do a very terrific job, because all these numbers, I don't know what kind of ink they put, how they print the all this information, like all these numbers, because to be honest, guys, this Breitling Navitimer, it can be used to measure a lot of stuff, but I don't know how to use this timepiece. Okay, and what I want to say is this: all the printings is very clear. So it reflects the light. And I've used this indoor, and I don't have any problem when it comes to legibility. The legibility is great, even though it's a Stratos dial. It has this dark gray dial, but all of the numbering, it shines. When it gets when it hits the light, it reflects the light. So it's very nice. You're not gonna, what I want to say is this: it's very legible. Okay, you're not gonna have any difficulty reading the time. Don't worry about it. Okay, and the watch is great. It has a B01 movement, the in-house Breitling movement, which has 70 hours of power reserve, so almost 3 days. So this is a modern standard. Nowadays, back in the day we had like 48 hours. Now it's slightly longer, one extra day, 70 hours. So it has an open case back. So Breitling B01 actually is a good looking movement. You can see it's very, very good looking. Okay, I really like it. And let's activate the chronograph, guys. As you can see, wow, it's very, very smooth. It's very nice. I really like it. Yeah, it has a very great design, very strong design. The Breitling Navitimer is rated. The water resistance of this watch is 30 millimeter. 30. Sorry, 30 meters. 30 meters. What I'm talking about here. 30 meters of water resistance. So it's not a watch for you to swim. But I mean, chronograph. If you wear a chronograph, it's not advisable to actually go to the pool and swim with it. Okay, this is not an aquatic timepiece. If you want to dive, if you want to go to a swimming pool and swim, I suggest you wear a diver but not chronograph. Okay, it's slightly lower in terms of water resistance. Like Speedmaster, another famous chronograph, has like about 50 meters of water resistance. This one is slightly lower. But it doesn't really bother me, and actually it shouldn't bother you either, because like I said, chronograph is not advisable for you to go to the swimming pool or this is sea and or lake to swim. Okay, so basically you want to avoid water at all costs. The watch, let's talk a little bit more about the dial, guys. The dial is very beautiful because it has this B-wing logo, which is collectible now because they don't make this anymore. They don't have this anymore. The newer generation of Navitimer was released back in 2022, just 1 year ago, and the logo has been changed to AOPA logo. So they already changed the logo, but this one still retains the old B-wing logo, which is collectible now in in collectors market. The collector appreciate this because it's actually a very good looking logo. Trust me when I say this, guys. I went to the store. I have gone to my local watch store where they still carry the old generation of Navitimer, right? And then I remember I had a chance to compare the old generation of Navitimer, which has this logo, with the still old generation of Navitimer, but when they changed the B wing logo with the B logo. Okay, so remove the wing, and this watch, exactly the same timepiece, but one with a B wing logo, one without the B wing logo. The B wing logo just explodes. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, one single logo can make the dial looks a lot more attractive. I don't know what is it. Okay, but it is very good looking. Okay, you can see the logo is very, and it's made of white gold. I mean, this B-wing logo is made of white gold. This is something that I want to tell you. It's made of white gold. And yeah, so it's a great timepiece, guys. What can I say? I mean, the proportion is great, 14.7 millimeter, but it doesn't wear that thick. And then the 46 millimeter, but it wears like 43 millimeter. 30 meters of water resistance. It has a B01 movement in-house from Breitling, which is very respectable, as good as Daytona, Rolex caliber 4000, that they put into Daytona, and is better than Speedmaster, of course, this one, because it has a column wheel chronograph. It's vertical, what is it, vertical clutch column wheel chronograph. Okay, so it's smooth. You can see it's very smooth. Like when I operate the chronograph, it's very, very smooth. And then the the difference. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about the difference between this one and the new generation of Navitimer. Okay, and after that I will close the review. So the main difference between this watch and the newer generation of Navitimer is that this watch is the case is all polished. Okay, but the newer generation is brushed. So this one is more blingy, okay, which I like, to be honest. I don't know why, because I consider this watch to be a dressy timepiece. It's sporty at the same time, but it's, dressy sport timepiece. And then also the watch is and then the newer generation has the date at 6 o'clock, but this one between 4 and 5. I don't have a preference. Okay. I think if they put the date here, it's also good because it doesn't break apart the what is it, the number at the subdial, on the subdial there. Also, what is the other? Oh, and then another difference is that this watch, if you can see, like there's this I don't know what is this for, but you can see like this 700, like this 1,700, and then 500, 400. All this numbering, they remove it in the newer generation of Navitimer. So the dial is more simple, but this watch is more complex, more complicated, more intricate, more more sophisticated, okay, for this watch, which I like, because David Timer is like all about crazy dial. It's all about like all this, like, complication on the dial. So this is why I really like Navy Timer with a bigger size, like 46 millimeter, because it captures it allows the watch to actually, to capture all of those information, just because I've seen, like, with the newer generation of Navitimer, right? The Breitling released 41 millimeter of Navitimer, and 41 millimeter Navitimer sucks. I've seen it. I went to the store. I don't like it. Okay, it doesn't. It feels like so. How should I say it? It's so congested. Like so much information put on the dial, but small, with a small dial, so it doesn't really have that much space to breathe, but this watch, because it has 46 millimeter of diameter, so it has more space, to take in that information. Okay, it doesn't feel that condensed. Okay, so which I like. Okay, I think it offers more balance with the 46 millimeter. At the very least, you want to go with 43 millimeter, but not smaller than 43 millimeter. Let me just tell you that. Okay, and you better believe it. And if you have a bigger wrist, above 6.5 inches wrist, you should go for 46 millimeter, because I think it will look good on you. It wears smaller, trust me, guys. It doesn't wear as 46 millimeter. It wears like 43 millimeter, because a lot of because 2 millimeter is off. Okay, because they measure it from here to here. Okay, but actually you can see, like, the bezel itself is actually, there's like this part protruding. So if you take this out, you save like 2 millimeter already. So yeah, guys, the watch is also very accurate, because this is COSC. The movement is COSC standard. So yeah, that's all about it. What I want to say is this. This watch is quite hard to get. This is a Stratos edition. But if you're thinking about getting a chronograph that is cool, that is underrated, I think you can consider Breitling Navitimer, because this is actually as cool as Daytona, as cool as Speedmaster. It's an icon from Breitling. It's also a timepiece that you can wear, and definitely will attract a lot of attention from watch enthusiasts, or from, like, just average Joe, because you can see the dial is very, very cool. There's nothing like it in the market. It has a very great movement. I have nothing bad about to say about Navitimer. It's a very, very nice chronograph. So if you're looking for an interesting chronograph, consider Breitling Navitimer, guys. May not be this version, because this version is already discontinued, and it's quite rare. It's only limited to 1,000 pieces. But they have a normal version of Breitling Navitimer with a reverse panda dial. You can opt for that one. But yeah, guys, this is all about it. This has been the review of Breitling Navitimer. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.